Your PIP assessment shouldn't feel like a guessing game, but for too many people it does. In fact, for too many people it turns into a real life nightmare that can go on for years. The difference between a successful outcome and a disappointing claim comes down to three main things: preparation, understanding of the system, and evidence. And on that basis, I want to give you all a massive thank you for helping me get my health journal to number one. It is now an official Amazon bestseller in the health and disability category. And in this video, not only am I going to show you how to use this over 200-paged annual health and disability planner for yourself, but I'm also going to show you how to use it in the best way possible to prepare for a PIP assessment or a PIP reassessment. And of course, if you don't yet have this bad boy, I'm going to be leaving the link down below so you can go and grab it straight from Amazon. So this video is going to be all about how to prepare for a PIP assessment, what to say, what not to say, and most importantly, how to prove it. So step one here is document everything. And I think this is one of the best things that I've learned working formally at DWP is the way they document absolutely everything. Now, just as long as your data does not get shared without your lawful consent, I'm okay about documenting certain things. Now, when you have a consistent health condition or a disability, it becomes part of you, your everyday. You forget very simple things, very small things that all contribute towards creating a massive big picture. And one of the best things that you can do to prove that your disability and or your health condition impacts your life adversely is the first thing is in the duration of it, the consistency, how long you have it. And again, if you have everything written down day by day, week by week in this health journal, which includes fluctuation trackers, it includes reasonable adjustments that you've had, it includes prescriptions, it includes various different pieces of evidence, it includes your appointment history log, it includes when you've had flare-ups and when you couldn't do things and how that impacted your life. All of these things need to be documented, and if it's all in one easy little book, well, I say little as A4, it's much better for you, because when it comes to assessments and finding that information, it's all in one place. And the evidence here, so each piece of each chapter in here, or module if you want to call it that, it backs up and supports another area which all builds towards credible evidence. And this brings me on to the next major fail I see with lots of people when they ask me, Ali, I've got all of these conditions and I've got this terrible disability that really stops me even from working sometimes. I've given them all of the letters and they're still like, I'm still scoring 0. So letters aren't enough. Just lists of how many times you've gone to the doctors is not enough. So consistency is key, and recording and documenting everything is key as well. Now, assessors are actively looking for patterns in how your condition affects your life, and it affects your daily life most importantly. And without proper documentation, even genuine claims can fail. So you can be genuine in that you give examples. For example, you might say something like, I have a really bad mobility problem because of my osteoarthritis. I have to use a walking stick, and quite often I become very accident prone. For example, I stepped on a plug, and then these are the other things that happened because of that, and this is how it affected my life adversely. couldn't get to the shops, had to order everything in, had to lay down on my bed for 3 weeks, had a terrible fever, which affected productivity on every single level, couldn't shower every day or even every week, was unsafe to get in the shower because of the fatigue, because of the dizziness, because of the panic and anxiety in case I got an infection. Write all of these things down in that journal and do it on the day. Don't do it just before an assessment. Do it on the day, like you would keep any other journal, because daily symptoms fluctuate, and how they fluctuate throughout the week and throughout the months and throughout the year will also impact changes in medication, side effects, impact on your actual functionability or functionality, and all of those things start to build a picture of adversity. And that is what you are being scored on with these points. How are they affecting you adversely in different specific areas, like difficulties with mobility, with cooking, with washing, with dressing, with traveling, with communicating, with budgeting. And good days versus bad days both matter for the assessment. Now, if you have a condition that you haven't had from birth, for example, you can use former good days when you remember yourself before you had this condition or before you had this accident, which gave you this disability, for example. So we can use the former goods to reflect on how it impacts your day to day. So again, daily evidence and credibility, because those two things are the number one thing that are going to help you, not just in the assessment, but also afterwards when it comes to perhaps dealing with the outcome of an assessment that you're not happy with. If you have everything documented and you can send that off, and I might add that you've also recorded your PIP assessment on one of these little gizmos here. I recommend these a lot, so I will leave this link down below. Don't use your phone, use something like this, because then it's really, really solid. 13 quid, I think, on Amazon. Then you have evidence. Okay, let's get on to the next part. Now, the next step is, even before you've got to the assessment, is preparing for the assessment. So number one, documenting everything daily in the health planner. Number two, request a subject data access request. So what this is you writing a letter to PIP asking for all of the data that they hold on you under a SARS, it's called, subject access request. And they have 30 days to comply with that. And the reason why this is important is because they might not have evidence that is valid and that is going to help you with your assessment. They might have out of date information. They might not have things that you've sent them before. And currently, I think Serco are dealing with a lot of the claims. So Serco are current. So if you send your information to PIP, for example, PIP then should be sending that to Serco. But obviously things happen. Maybe it doesn't get to the right caseworker, etc., etc. And also, you want to be sure that they are basing their decision based on your most up-to-date evidence. Even if nothing's changed, you should still have some evidence. You should have, you've been to the doctor, you're still taking your medication, and your life is still being impacted by your disability. So quite often I hear people saying to me, oh, well, nothing's changed in my life. Well, you should be using this. Because if nothing's changed, you can still show that it's impacting your life every single day. And that's what you've got to do. You've got to carry on evidence in it. So number one, file your SARS early, because DWP are very likely not to do it in 30 days. So you're probably going to have to do it again. Submit your subject access request at least 30 days before your assessment date. If you've been given a 2-week window for your assessment date, call them and say, I want to rebook my assessment because I'm waiting for a SARS, which is my right, because I want to be sure you have all the evidence in front of you that you require to make a decision on my application or on my disability. So that, this is really, really important. And when you get it, review it. Make sure that all the information in there is accurate, that it's up to date, that you haven't suddenly thought of something that should be in there that isn't. If it isn't, send it to them, especially your last assessment report, medical evidence, occupational health reports, any healthcare professional statements on file, witness statements from your carers, witness statements from people that know you well, and identify and correct any errors. If you spot mistakes, outdated notes, missing information, you can prepare to address and correct them during your assessment with proper evidence. Now, don't forget, as I've written here, knowledge is power. Knowing what the assessor can see before you walk into that room changes everything. And when you go into the assessment, you can ask them, how many pieces of evidence do you have in front of you, please? Let's not forget, this is your health, this is your data, this is your information. If they say 37 pieces, you can ask them to go through it. If it's volumes of it, just go through what you think is the most pertinent and the most important part. Okay. If you don't know how to make a subject data access request, we have a whole vault of template letters inside of the Justice Journals membership. It's at justicejournals.com. It's linked down there below. I know lots of you wonderful people are in it. Thank you. And all of the things that you need will carry on being built into it to help you as much as possible. Okay, step 3 is knowing how the PIP points work. And over at the Justice Journals, we have a whole little course on this inside the Justice Journals membership, and the Health Journal has been written as if the 4-point rule has already been brought in. So if you didn't know what the 4-point rule is, the government have decided that potentially, although it was suggested and then it was removed, and now we're waiting for the outcome of it pending something called the TIMS review, is that they stated that you needed to score 4 points in one of the daily living activities to become entitled or remain entitled to PIP. Now, whether or not if you already have it, are you still going to be eligible for that when they bring this new rule in? If they bring this new rule in, still remains really to be confirmed. But I like to play it safe, so I would say that they're probably going to put people through a reassessment. I know it's not what everybody wants to hear, but it's better to be informed of what you think they're going to do and then make sure you're prepared for it, so that you have a good chance of defending yourself and your disability and defending your health, rather than be caught out. Okay, so these are how the PIP points work basically. You basically have points for different activities: daily living activities, preparing food, taking nutrition, managing therapy or monitoring health, washing and bathing, managing toilet needs, dressing and undressing, communicating verbally, reading and understanding signs, engaging with other people, making budgeting decisions. And then over on the right here, we have got mobility activities, planning and following journeys, moving around. Now, depending on how many points you get put into 2 different categories: either the standard rate, so you'll be paid the standard rate of PIP, or you will go into the enhanced rate and you'll be paid the enhanced rate of PIP. So, and you're scored separately for daily living and mobility, and you can receive different rates for each component. Now, what people do, and I have seen this time and time again, and I also see it when people ask me to help them with access to work applications, is people take their condition, they go to preparing food, and they go to ChatGPT, and they try and get ChatGPT to write what it is, something that's going to fit this. I can tell you now, even a half qualified eye sees that transcript, and we know instantly that that's been written by by ChatGPT. DWP also have special formatting software that checks for things that have been ironically created by AI. Now, over at the Justice Journals, we have software that I've created that is partially, or I would say there is a bit of AI in it, but there is a massive message and a disclaimer right at the top of it before you even enter anything into it that says, do not put your name, address, anything that you can be identified in. And the reason why, as I always say, is AI, predominantly a lot of it is open source. We don't know where that information comes from, but we do use a portion of that over at the Justice Journals, but you are encouraged not to put in any personal information. Everything is obviously kept compliantly and correctly. It's just like we don't know where AI is going. So you can use the Justice Writer Pro, which is amazing software. It helps you write letters and all sorts of things as well. Many of the letters that have been written inside the Justice Journal's template vault come from Justice Writer Pro. So it doesn't just do that, it does all sorts of other things as well, as you'll see when you're in there. So when you come to these daily living activities and the mobility activities, the assessor is going to work through this list and they're going to be asking you questions that are related to these activities. And this is why that health journal is so important, because you're going to come to a point where you can't think anymore, or where you have blank spots, or you just don't really know what to put. If you've got everything already documented in that health journal, you can start picking out pieces and going, oh, actually, I am forgetful quite often. I keep forgetting it's like Thursday, or I've missed like a day of the week, or yes, I am using aids and I've just bought some and I remember because I put it in my journal when I bought them and what it was. Write all of this stuff down, and use that information to formulate really good answers to describe your health condition and to describe the impact of it and the adversity of it within these key descriptors. That's all I'm going to say about this for today, because I wanted to keep these a little bit short and snappy. I am going to do another one. Please leave your questions that's going to go on from this one. Please leave your questions down below. We do go into this a lot more deeply, as I said, inside the Justice Journals, because we also have monthly group coaching sessions. So people can come along if they have problems. How do I do this? How do I express that? And sometimes people will say what condition they have. And as a group coaching session, I ask that person's permission, obviously prior, is can I discuss this condition and how it affects your life adversely, and how I would explain that on a PIP application form, for example, or in a reassessment, to give other people ideas on how do you show this, because not everybody knows how to do this. And you shouldn't really have to go to this degree, but unfortunately we are where we are with this, and I think it's wrong myself that people have to be scrutinized so much when they're already struggling with a health condition or a disability. But unfortunately we have a whole world of fraudsters out there that have made getting help like this really, really, really difficult, and that's one of the main reasons there are all of these catch-22 questions. So there we go. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for all of your love and support. And like I said, we'll carry on on the next video with the next part of this preparing for your assessment for PIP. And I hope it really helps you all out. Take care. Thank you. Goodbye.